About a week ago, we got our very first LEGO Star Wars 2025 set rumors, but I gotta admit at first, I was pretty skeptical. I did not know what was real and what wasn't, but since then we have had some more reputable sources come out and confirm some of the sets that were originally rumored, as well as fill in some of the blanks for what the other sets releasing in January of 2025 for LEGO Star Wars are. So in this video, we will be covering all 6 of the rumored sets, their prices, their piece counts, and since I recorded this, there's been even more 2025 set rumors, and some of them are quite interesting, but we're going to save them for the end of the video because they're a little bit less substantiated than the 6 main rumors that this video was originally about. 75410 is going to be a 4+ Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter coming in at $30 with 92 pieces. For the range of 4+ sets, the price per piece makes a lot of sense. These sets always use very large pieces. They always use printed pieces only, so you can expect some nice quality out of it, I suppose, but I'm sure the model will look much more akin to the 1999 N-1 Starfighter compared to maybe the 2022 Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter as far as like the shape and bulkiness of it might look. As far as minifigs are concerned though, because I'm sure most people watching this video do not care about a 4+ Mando's N-1 Starfighter, I certainly expect a regular run-of-the-mill Mandalorian figure with no differences from like prior versions that we've had. But the Grogu is an interesting point here because it's a 4+ set. It's a set for little kids that might put things in their mouths. And I saw someone comment, isn't that a choking hazard? And it's a good point. This may very well have a different Grogu figure for the first time. Well, we technically have had like the Christmas Grogu, but like a completely different molded Grogu that's larger than the one that we have now, so that the very little kids that this set is being aimed at are less likely to try and eat Grogu or Grogu's head as a piece of candy, maybe. That's got to be the most interesting possibility out of this set, while it's still also entirely possible that it will just be the old tiny Grogu included. Or maybe they don't include any Grogu at all and they forego that. Who knows? So I'm hoping just for the fun of it that we get a weird, different style Grogu in this set. Moving on though, set 75401 is supposed to be $45 with 290 pieces, and it's rumored to be Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. And again, to be clear, Interceptor, not Starfighter. They have done the Starfighter before, but this would be a completely new build for them. Well, the build would be largely the same as the Obi-Wan's and Anakin's Starfighters that we've had before, just in a slightly different colorway. And so getting Ahsoka's here is pretty cool. It's very timely with the Ahsoka show having come out a year ago. You know, more Ahsoka stuff coming out in the future. Although I suppose it will technically be a Clone Wars set, which does mean this set should definitely have a new Clone Wars Ahsoka and definitely have a new Clone Wars R7A7 astromech droid, Ahsoka's astromech droid. We haven't had that one, I think, since 2009, so pretty incredible to finally get that back here. But for me, the big question mark here is this is a $45 Jedi Interceptor. The last Jedi Interceptor that came out was 2020's Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, and that set was $30. The inflation on that makes it about $36 in today's money. So how is this $10 more expensive? That's the big question. And part of me really feels, after having thought about it for a long time, that this is going to be one of the most unquestionably overpriced sets in the history of LEGO Star Wars, because it will add nothing more. Because we already saw this. They released Yoda's Interceptor in the summer of 2023 for $35. At the time, everyone's like, that's overpriced. It's got to have a third figure. It didn't have a third figure. It didn't have any extra build. It had nothing. It was just Yoda and R2-D2. And I just wouldn't be surprised if it's just Ahsoka and R7 and Ahsoka's Interceptor. We've seen it before, and they'll do it again, and they'll rip everyone off at $45, even though this should be no more expensive than a $35 set. I've seen a little bit of discussion online where this could be a really good set to get a new Count Dooku minifigure in as your like throw-in random third character figure. Also, a new Clone Wars Anakin could certainly fit in this set. But if we look at what they recently did with Yoda's Interceptor, and they didn't give it a third figure, you know, it just paints a scary picture of what might be happening here with a $45 Ahsoka's Interceptor. But there's also the hope out there that they revert to what they did with the Obi-Wan Starfighter, and they give it a really cool third minifigure like a Taun We. Obviously not Taun We and Ahsoka Starfighter, but Count Dooku being maybe that equivalent here. But even that doesn't make it $45 in my opinion. So for $45, there better be something in this set. But I'm scared here. This might just end up being one of those unanimously, like, everyone's like, what the heck are they doing? Like the Desert Skiff at $80. I always hope I'm wrong when I predict something will end up being bad with LEGO Star Wars. I'd rather it be good than bad. But, like, the writing's on the wall here, I think. Set 75402 is the $70 ARC-170 with 497 pieces. For reference, the previous ARC-170s included 396 pieces, so certainly this ARC-170 you would think would be a bigger build, but more realistically, they're using smaller pieces, and so it will be a bit of a downsized ARC-170, I expect. It should still be pretty nicely detailed and still include at least 3 minifigures and an astromech droid. Like, you have to have a person for each of the pilot seats, and you have to have the astromech droid to go in the middle. So if they have anything less than that, it's crazy highway robbery. But this set feels way less overpriced than the Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, and that's not even being able to see pictures or know anything else about them. But anyways, it pertains to the play features on the ARC-170. I've actually got a special guest to fill us in on some of those details.
Maybe it'll still have the bomb thing here, the wings that open up. So yeah, I kind of did my note, but that's that one.
That was literally me 15 years ago talking about the rumored 2010 ARC-170. Anyway, I briefly want to discuss what minifigs I expect to see in this set. Now, while it could be a Clone Wars themed ARC-170 to better pair with that Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, next year is the 25th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. You knew that. So I do expect this to be a Revenge of the Sith themed ARC-170, and so we should hopefully get 3 clone pilots, with one of them being Captain Jag, who we see very clearly in Revenge of the Sith, and then a couple of other just regular pilots, plus we should have an astromech droid to go in the middle, and then hopefully a third, or rather fourth, actual minifig in a Jedi. Now, in the past they did Kit Fisto, but I think Plo Koon would be a really sensible option here, as of course in Order 66 they chase down Plo Koon in an ARC-170, and so to me, it would be a bit of an awkward family dinner of a minifig selection, but Plo Koon could certainly fit into this set, just to get him into a set so that people can finally get a Plo Koon figure again. It's been, where's the last one? It was 2010? Has it been that long? 2014, so still over a decade, and this is definitely a set that could fit him in. It's also notable that one of like the LEGO Star Wars mobile games that's had characters in the past, like Fox, that eventually became a minifigure, like basically 1-to-1, does have Plo Koon in the game in one of their things. So like that could be the Plo Koon that we end up seeing, maybe, you know, just a thought. Set 75403 is a pretty surprising one to me, with 1,048 pieces at $100. Another buildable character type set. I feel like they're almost doing too many of these, but it's a good one. It's supposed to be Grogu and a Pram. As far as the size of this set is concerned, this was originally an $80 set, so the buildable Grogu portion of it for $100 now in 2025 would have to be substantially smaller. So just like the head of Grogu within the set, maybe half the size of the head of this Grogu, you know, but I do think this is going to be a really cool build and something that will be really fun for collectors and even like kids to enjoy. It's not said that this is an 18 plus set. A lot of the buildable characters aren't 18 plus sets, but it certainly will be a very nice display piece regardless. And we can expect one, I keep hitting this, one minifig in the set in Grogu, and maybe his Pram. I would probably expect the Pram. Now, the next set was not rumored when I last talked about the 2025 leaks, and so this one was a huge surprise to me, and honestly, it's a bit disappointing. But it's also like a really exciting choice. Like, it's a cool set to have LEGO make for LEGO Star Wars. It is the MIDI-Scale Acclamator. Like, I never thought they would ever make any type of Acclamator outside of maybe a mini one, but this one's supposed to have 450 pieces for $50, so it'll be quite small. It'll be probably pretty close to in scale with this, or at least size similar, you know, because this is also $50. But I think a lot of people wanted a Venator 2025 Revenge of the Sith obvious pairing with the Invisible Hand that came out in 2024, and as cool as an Acclamator is, I would have preferred a Venator. It's kind of like having ice cream but wanting cake instead. Like, ice cream is very good, but you really were just feeling like cake tonight. That is the only way I could possibly describe how I feel about it being an Acclamator instead of a Venator. But as far as an Acclamator goes, like, huge shock. It's really cool. I just wish it was a Venator this year in particular, because like, maybe in the future, you know, you never know. They could do a Venator in 2026, 2027, but I highly doubt in 2025 now with this other MIDI-Scale slot now taken that there will be a MIDI-Scale Venator. And the final rumored January 2025 set is the 75405 MIDI-Scale Home 1 Mon Calamari Cruiser. This one's supposed to be $70 with 559 pieces. No minifigures, just, I didn't mention it, but the Acclamator as a MIDI-Scale set that will also not have minifigures. But like I said, my initial reaction to the Home 1 Mon Calamari leaking about a week ago, you know, it's a really cool choice for a MIDI scale set. It's something that never would have worked at a much larger scale, just as far as the sales interests go alone. Like, it would have been a tough sell at $500, $600, $700. So it's kind of like the invisible hand. Like, it always made sense to bring MIDI scale back for sets like this, because you can just never do everything as a $500 set, and it's just kind of unreasonable to expect everyone to buy a bunch of $500 sets. And so these $50, $60, $70 MIDI scale sets just work so well for ships like this Home 1 cruiser here. So I'm very excited about this one. It's a ship that I think people have wanted for a long time, and you're finally getting it. Now, when it comes to the few other rumors circulating, first off, we have Bo-Katan's helmet, and it was said that the helmet line was kind of done. There were none released in 2024, but perhaps getting a one-off in 2025 isn't that outlandish. And if there is, it appears that it will be Bo-Katan, which honestly just makes a ton of sense, and probably for more reasons than meet the eye, but we're not going to get into that in this video. The most interesting of these three bonus rumors has got to be the Star Wars logo with George Lucas minifigure potentially. Just a big buildable Star Wars logo, probably in the $100 range. I can't imagine them going too much further out, but also, like, would this really be $40? No, they're going to try to get every penny out of it. So probably like $99.99, right? Hopefully that's just me being cynical with a bad guess and this ends up as like a $50 set. But the highlight to me here would be George Lucas. Like, getting a Lego George Lucas minifigure has been a dream of mine, and they have had one, but they have not really made it publicly available. The official ones that have apparently gotten out, I think, go for like thousands of dollars. So of course that's not attainable. So hopefully this set will include a George Lucas minifigure, and that's a real cool thing to me. So we'll see. And the final bonus rumor with the Ewok Village, I still think that there's no Ewok Village without an Endor bunker, so I feel like whatever this set is could be a combination of the village and the bunker, you know, but we don't know really anything about it, if it even exists at all. It is just a rumor, and like I said, not as substantiated by more reliable sources than some of the earlier rumors in this video. That is it. Those are all of the current rumors for January of 2025. I did say this in my original leak video, but it does mean, as far as we're aware, no battle packs in the January lineup for 2025. Let me know what you think about the rumors and the maybe different release pattern down in the comment section below.
Stay tuned for official 2010 sets. Bye.